Sparda knew that life wouldn't be easy for the family he would build. Branded as the traitor of the demon world, the Dark Knight knew that danger would follow him and the people he was associated with, as they could become targets for the Demon Emperor's revenge against him. For reasons unknown, Sparda left his wife Eva and twin sons Virgil and Dante when the boys were quite young. However, knowing the risk that his family could be attacked in his absence, he didn't leave them completely defenseless. The brothers and their mother had the possibility to run away if they found themselves in danger, by taking a path that we, the players, took in one of the missions in the game where we play as Dante. Dante stands at the entrance of the passage that is revealed after we activate a mechanism that moves a statue blocking the entrance. Some of you might have noticed that this statue looks similar to someone, especially that it's holding a very familiar looking sword. The Devil May Cry 5 art book actually says that it's a statue of Sparda, and there's quite an interesting detail about the passage. I have translated the commentary for Mission 12, which says that it was meant to be an escape route prepared by Sparda for his family in case of demon attacks. I would like to mention that the word kago was used in the commentary, having the nuance of divine protection or providence, which personally emphasizes the godly image of Sparda. The fact that we are told that the house was able to maintain its shape, well, somewhat, even after damage is received, it makes you believe that some magical enhancements were made to it. I mean, it hardly looked damaged by the fire. Before DMC5, some of us might have thought that the house no longer existed, presumably being destroyed by demons. Unless magic was used on the house that could have made it withstand disasters such as fires or earthquakes, then it's quite a major oversight by the dev team to have left the house looking hardly affected by the fire. Even the wardrobe in which Dante was hidden also looks like it was barely affected by the fire, and again maybe there was more to it and Eva hiding him in there wasn't just a decision made out of desperation and knew that the wardrobe could offer some protection. Going back to the details about the passage, the art book doesn't offer other details such as how to open an exit from the inside, nor does it mention the location of an entrance that the family could have used. Based on this concept art and given that it has a note that says Sparda statue, which must be this one here, if it was behind the house, then it kind of defeats the purpose of making a quick escape. So I believe the entrance to the passage must have been inside the house, perhaps a trapdoor, or hidden behind a wall, or behind the fireplace like you might have seen in movies. What if there was a switch behind the family portrait? That would have been interesting, but alas, it's only speculation. I have talked about the information from the art book, and now I'll present some details that I noticed in the game in order to expand on the passage that we take in Mission 12. At the start of Mission 12, we have a flashback of the time when Virgil was going to split himself, and we see him walking towards the house. With Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition, we see that Virgil went through a passage to reach the manor, and because this was before the Qliphoth emerged and destroyed Redgrave, it makes you wonder from where did he come out because there was no giant hole like the one from which we exit from. As shown by these screenshots I took with the free camera, Virgil was in front of the house and walking towards it, but we don't see any kind of opening in the ground from where he could have emerged directly in front of the house. There might be more passages underneath Redgrave, and Virgil took one that didn't lead him directly outside the manor. Because of Redgrave's development since the time when the twins were young, with their house becoming surrounded by buildings, due to constructions, underground passages might have been sealed. The reason why I believed about the possibility of more tunnels is that if we look at the one we passed through, it does seem to bear resemblance to the catacombs from Mission 9, and the setting of that mission is an Alberton graveyard, and I thought it might have been part of that area. The Qliphoth did serious damage to Redgrave, isolating or even combining areas, and that's how I had the theory that the passage we go through is part of the Alberton graveyard that features catacombs. But it was split apart because of the Qliphoth, which resulted into a single tunnel that was removed from the graveyard and conveniently encased by the demon tree, making it look like one of its roots from the outside. I hope that you found what I presented in this video interesting. Let me know your opinions about the details that I've put together. I actually wrote about the passage a long time ago on Twitter, but now I was able to have more references with the help of the camera mod. I for one like that the commentary in the art book provided us with a mention of Sparta because we don't know much about him aside from his status as the legendary Dark Knight. Thus, it's awesome that we were given insight about what he did for his family before his disappearance. If you're interested in more Devil May Cry lore, check out my Twitter account where I've been writing information from materials that didn't receive localization, or posts where I compare the English and Japanese dubs from the games that can sometimes reveal interesting details. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye!